Hello everybody and welcome to this new video. Today, in a world exclusive just for you, I'm going to present you the new Panzerfaust 60 from NESTOF. First of all, I want to thank NESTOF for their support and for proposing me this Panzerfaust at half price and in preview. To find the history of the Panzerfaust, I invite you to watch my video on the Panzerfaust 60 in 3D printing from 419 Lab. Before you get too much attention from the authorities, don't worry, this is an Inert production and not at all intended to be converted into a real launcher. After that, if you want to try to withdraw money from the bank with it, I don't want to know about it. About the replica, NESTOF contacted a Polish company who launched Panzerfaust reproductions exclusively for them. They were able to get their hands on an original Panzerfaust to reproduce it as faithfully as possible. Historical accuracy. Some people would rather be historically faithful than faithful to their beliefs or to their friends. It's ugly. Afterwards, I can say what I want and slam whoever I want. My detractors don't watch my video anyway. We are just nice people on my channel. It's available for the beginning of 2023 on the NESTOF website for the price of 215 euros without shipping costs. And I think the shipping costs could be free because we reach a certain amount to validate it in function of where you live. And a little extra, which is not all negligible for us Europeans, it's made in Europe. So no custom duties. Yee! The Faust is entirely made of metal and weighs 4.1 kg. So it's really not negligible if you have long distances to walk. It compounds of a head, which is in two parts, and a body, which has a sighting system and a safety system. From now on, I must warn you, I received one of the first copy, so prototype. I have already been able to give my feedbacks to NESTOF, so you will not normally have the problems I had with it. But as an objective analyst, I must talk about it, without malice, because it's not nice to be nasty. You remind me of someone like this. I don't know, perhaps I have to go back to my office to find out who you look like. The main problem I had with this replica is that the markings here, which are very realistic, are decals. And they come off with my body heat and the moisture from my hands. Meet the hottest hands in your area. Strip me down, remove my markings. I got it with one piece of yellow decal missing on the side. Here, I had to repaint to cover it up. It's visible, but I prefer seeing the paint than having a big empty space. I don't like empty spaces. And the hole for the sides were not drilled in the decal. To do that, it wasn't very complicated, one base stroke and we're done. But as for the decal thing, it bothered me. It was impossible to touch it without damaging it. And I like to touch long, hard things, but not things that come apart. So I put back the parts that had come off on my fingers and I put some pre-August decal fixative. You modelers and miniature artists probably have this in stock, but it gives a satin effect and you can see it. So I took a kind of Prince August varnish and I gave the whole Faust a satin finish. Well, normally it says matte on the can, but I think there was a reversal in the shop. So I got satin. No problem, it reinforces the metallic look. And in the end, this method only works moderately, as the decal are sometimes very big. It protects mostly the edges, but not the center, so I lost a bit of inscription during my exterior shots. This should be corrected in future versions. The easiest way would be to use stencil, but it's less clean than a decal. There is a small point on the headstop to aim through the hole of the sight. Realistic, simple, effective. The label here is in paper, so be careful, it's not waterproof. To aim, you first have to remove the pin. Not supplied with it, I had to buy one on my side in a hardware store. Then straighten the whole thing. Then you can finally press on the rear key where it says fire. And as I'm a little crazy, I added a spring under this element, so the mechanism go back in place more easily. I don't know if it's realistic, since I never had a Panzerfaust in my hands, but I thought it was cool. At least it avoids the fire position while the head is still in place on the picture. I took a spare spring from Airsoft, if I could remember, and fixed it by digging a small hole in the part under the key, which is used on the real one for firing, I guess. There is no cap at the end, but it's not a big deal. Some soldier will take it off in the battle or lose it, and anyway it would pop off as soon as the Panzerfaust fired. It was just to keep the shit out of the tube. A long tube with shit in it? Are you found a coloscopy? And what I am very happy about the reproduction is that you can take the head apart. Firstly, by removing the little ring here from the little nipple, just to remove the head without removing the rest. Like this. You can call the Panzerfaust Louis XVI. You can remove the head while keeping the rest intact. Vive la France and baguette! We have a small marking engraved on the tube. I find it very nice. In the long term you can secure this fixation by twisting the tab downwards. I don't do it to keep the features without damaging the metal leg by twisting and untwisting it. And then you can remove the whole ogive and unfold the wings of the rocket. They are rifted also in metal, and you will realize that it is quite a pain to put the head back in place. And we can see here there is a wood part. To do so, you have to tighten it in your hand. Have a big hand, or in a worst case, use a shoelace. It's very hard. And pushing it, paying attention to the notch on the front. Here we go. Turn slightly in the direction of the wings and that it goes through. And finally, press it gently until the locking system with the safety lever engages. I don't advise you to do this too often. The paint will get damaged in the long run and maybe even the fixing. The metal sheets are quite thin and very rigid, but for the exhibition, museum or for your own little showcase, it will be perfect. And on the 1:1 scale diorama, an empty tube will be great, with a corpse next to it even.
Lenken Sie, verstehen Sie nicht? Sturm vorwärts und knallt sie ab! Zielt genau! Das sind die einzigen, die wir noch haben, ist das verstanden?
I already shown you a long time ago a Panzerfaust all in metal, but with concrete in the head to give weight, so it was totally unbalanced, and it is very ugly. Chinese reproduction. Here the balancing is better. You can evolve all the force on your shoulder without the hands. We will now move on the non-shooting test. Here, it's done. Impressive, isn't it? It was so fast that the head went off, then came back in place after ricochet. You need to stop illegal substances. Your brain is already damaged enough. So you admit, I have a brain. Woo, that's progress! This is the conclusion of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank NESTOF again for their support. If you want to order this baby, the link is in the description. Don't hesitate to click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe and share the video too. I still thank my tippers and YouTube subscribers. Without you, I would be in the deep shit. You can join them by following the links at the bottom of the description. As for me, I'll see you soon for new videos. Bye for now! Ah, oh, shit.